What's up, guys? This is Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, and the broader markets. Just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I'm saying as financial advice. So Tesla has this gap up here around the 400 area. I think next week we easily fill this gap near 400, and Tesla could be going even higher. We're looking for a nice breakout right here. I mentioned as long as Tesla's above 368, we're looking bullish. And we're going to be favoring an attempt to push basically for that 380 area. I mentioned if that broke, we'd be going even higher. We actually broke past the 380s, so now we're looking at basically the 392 area. I don't think Tesla stops here. I think we go for 400 next week, so we're still looking quite bullish. As long as Tesla does not lose this support right here, around that 368 area, I think we're looking quite good. And we're going to be favoring $400 as our potential price target. Now, we have FOMC next week, and that's going to be greatly affecting the markets and Tesla. So even though we have an inverse head and shoulders, and I think we push a bit higher to start off next week, there's no guarantee we just continue to run forever. So be careful once we get to FOMC. But until then, I do think Tesla could run to $400. We're still looking quite strong. SPY is holding up nicely. We're actually very choppy on SPY. There's not really much going on with it today. We need to hold above 658s to be bullish. Otherwise, we're just kind of chopping around. On the 30 minutes time frame, you'll see that today was just a chop fest. We're just pretty much stuck in this very, very tight range. I expect us to just chop around for the rest of the day. We'll see if we break 658 towards the end of the day to push for like closer to 660. Otherwise, expect a lot of chop. Now, because Tesla's pushing alongside other tech stocks, we're actually seeing tech kind of leading the market right now. We're seeing the QQQ continue to break all-time highs. I talked about 587 to be tested, which is awesome, but keep in mind, although it's great we're pushing higher as you predicted, there's still a rising wedge here, and you want to be very careful going into next week with FOMC. There's a perfect rising wedge on the QQQ. We're still respecting this, so be very careful heading into next week. On the IWM, we could be retesting 238, and we'll see if we bounce off this or not. If that fails us, we're looking for 235, but I do see a couple of points down before you try to bounce. Yes, it's kind of flat right here. If we don't hold around 65.80, we could be dipping back down to 65.60. We're kind of flat on ES. I just expect this to kind of consolidate, but there is a downside risk to it. And Q, however, is stronger. This is looking for 24,100 and 24,200 plus. There is upside potential. Bitcoin has an inverse head and shoulders. If we end up losing basically 114,000, we're bearish. As long as this holds, we could be pushing for basically 117,000. For Tesla, we're looking a bit more bullish. We're going to be favoring 392 if that breaks. Like I said before, 400 looks like a potential target. Nvidia is looking bullish. We could be retesting 178 to push a little bit higher for the short term, but for the medium term, watch this head and shoulders that could be forming. So even if Nvidia pushes a bit higher for essentially 178 to 180, watch and see if you get a rejection after that. On Aapl, we're looking bullish. We're going to be favoring 235 plus and eventually 236 as we're trying to make higher lows. On Palantir, we're looking quite decent so long as we don't lose 163. We're going to be favoring 168 as our target. AMD looks bullish, favoring 162. I think it could be pushing even more. Coinbase is looking pretty good here. We could be looking for essentially 325 as our target. Amazon is bearish. Might be dipping to about 225, and we'll see if we bounce. Meta is holding support at 750, could be retesting 753 or above. It's consolidating right now, so there's not really much going on. Google favors 242, and then Microsoft is going to be favoring basically 514. So we'll just have to see what happens. The VIX is also on a downtrend. For now, we actually have a bullish falling wedge. So could we dip more? Yes, but we're going to see if we get a big breakout or not from the VIX. So be very, very careful. With that being said, guys, I want to thank you all so much for listening. I think the market's looking a bit more, bullish right now in terms of the trend, although we're seeing some chop. And Tesla's looking very strong. We're favoring 400 by next week. I think we're still looking quite good. I would like to see 400 before FOMC, and then we'll see how FOMC affects us. For now, Tesla could be breaking out, once again, getting closer to that 400 area. I think we're doing a great job. And so far, there's a lot of potential nonetheless. Thank you for listening. Have a good one, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one, and peace out.